Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ring Post Radio, the only podcast for your ear holes. I'm your host, Ryan Icey, and with me, as always, is the man, the myth, the legend, Scotty Edwards. Scotty, how are you doing on this fine Tuesday night?
I'm doing fine. I forgot we had a show today.
That's
That's
fine.
it. Yeah.
To be fair,
I
this is like
I'm not
the first...
established to Tuesdays. Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, this is our first Tuesday at 7 we've had in centuries. So,
But we had one last week, so that's cool.
well, that was at 6. Remember, this is the one at 7. We're finally back to our usual thing. That long-running gag of us recording not on Tuesday is finally over. But alas, we're here. But you're doing well, Scotty. How is the nor'easter going? How is the snow in? Or how many? What's the snow like at this point?
Well, I've gotten rid of it all, so that's nice.
Oh boy.
Well, I've shoveled it all. It's not gone forever.
You didn't wave your magic wand at it, and then
no,
a bunch of yellow snow appeared.
What? No yellow.
That's a pretty good joke, actually. That's a pretty good joke, actually. You wave your magic wand at it, and then yellow snow appeared. That's a good joke.
You need help. No, there was a lot of shoveling yesterday. 15 inches of snow.
Yeah.
It was not great.
Is that the 15 inches? So you had snow previously that I assume melted to a certain length.
We got probably a good 30 of just fucking surface sitting out there right now.
Jesus Christ. So that sucks.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan personally.
Yeah, pretty rough here in Atlanta too. We had a cold spell where it was up in like the upper 40s over the weekend.
Oh no! Oh no!
Cold. Well, yeah, you gotta remember that earlier, like on Thursday, Scotty, it was like 70 degrees out here, and I was like, oh, okay, this is pretty nice.
Oh no! I hope you guys make it. It would be so scary if you didn't, because it's so much.
Did I tell you Did I tell you roughly like what the temperature was for Christmas this past year for us here in Atlanta?
No, but I don't think I'm gonna be happy about it.
It was like 70 degrees. It was disorienting. I'll tell you that much. Coming from Maryland, it was like Christmas. Why is it 70 degrees outside? I shouldn't even like this in Atlanta.
Dude, I've had 70 degrees in about like 4 or 5 months. I'm so happy for you, is what I'm saying.
Thank you.
Really happy for you. Yeah. It's so great. It's so great. You could just hear the belief in my voice.
Well, yeah, I mean, you don't have to be upset that long. Looking at the weather right now, sunny. It's going to be partly cloudy on this Sunday. A high of 73 degrees. So I don't have to wait that much longer for the 70s. 70 degrees to come back, Scotty.
Oh, thank God! I was terribly worried that you wouldn't have the chance to vacation and enjoy your life while I suffer
30 inches of snow.
Yeah, well, 30 inches that won't leave me alone.
You can't have them all, Scotty. You can't have them all.
Yeah, no, I can't. I'm gonna be locked in like 2 seconds. I'm just putting my friend's head on Toad.
Perfect. Well, in those 2 seconds, I'll tee up the show for you all. So we got a big show today. Obviously, we're going to talk about it. We got our first update in a long while. I know there was like some case. Perfect. Beautiful. Some case stuff happening in the background, but we got not only an update from Janel Grant, we got her first public appearance since the court filings with Vince McMahon. Actually, I take that back.
Ever.
Say technically ever. The only thing we've ever had about Janel Grant was the picture that was circling online, which I believe in this press conference she said was like her. Yeah. It was her worker ID.
It was her life being put on blast, essentially.
Which we'll talk about that momentarily. We'll also talk about New Japan Cup. Why are we talking about it so early? Well, we're not necessarily going to have an episode next week, or at least Scotty won't be here next week for sure. So we want to get our New Japan Cup takes in here before he leaves. Fantastica Mania started, so we'll talk about we'll touch on night 1 briefly before moving on to New Beginning.
There's so many nights that have already happened that have aired.
That have aired?
2 total.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I was like, because wasn't it like night 4 was the next one that was going to air?
Today's night 5.
So night 5. Which one was the next one? It was night 1, and then is it 4 or 5?
Night 5.
Night 5?
5. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then, yeah. So night 1 and night 5 have already aired. I've only watched night 1, so I'm sure. Hopefully, you've watched night 5 then.
Oh my god! I haven't watched night 4 or 5. I haven't watched anything.
Have you watched night 1?
No, I haven't watched anything this week.
Okay. Well, then maybe we will or will not get to it. But at the very least, we'll also.
No, I do want to hear from you. I want to hear from you.
Okay. We'll preview New Beginning USA, which is upcoming pay-per-view this Friday.
3 nights aired. Did you know that?
No,
I thought 3 nights have already aired.
I assumed that nothing was airing because I knew that it was like night 1 was airing and then like a bunch of nights wasn't. So I assumed that like I wasn't watching it for a while.
I thought it was only 2. 3 nights have aired so far.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
and you've missed all of them.
That's good. Sucks for us. So apologies there, but of course, we'll talk about New Beginning USA.
We're a professional podcast,
and we'll talk about Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor getting an interesting, not necessarily update, but a lot of people are doing these sort of eye emoji thing.
Too many eye emoji things. I'd argue.
On a certain
one's too many, but
I guess arena booking, let's say studio booking for one Ring of Honor.
Even our dog Ian Riccaboni's giving them.
Yeah, Ian Riccaboni is like doing actual eye emoji, like he's doing like on a video podcast where he's like, oh, maybe there's cool stuff happening all the way on the surface. And then I think today there was like a tweet where he put out where he's like, I wasn't talking about the studio. I wasn't talking about Mauro Ranallo. It's like, all right.
I like the idea that like Tony Khan saw TNA get a deal. And I was like, all right, come on, man. Like I could do better than that.
we can put a better show together than this. At least cheaper. At least cheaper.
You ever think about how there's like
diehards? I don't know. We actually don't know how cheaper TNA would have been, but because there's an argument that it's
TNA
not.
has diehards, which is like crazy to me. That's insane.
Yeah, and they and quite frankly, they're insane. And quite frankly, Scotty, we're insane.
So, hey, listen, I like what you want to like, but I'm just saying there's better hobbies out there than TNA.
So, TNA Ryan's here to stay. Total Non-Staff Ryan is here to stay, of course.
That's true.
Which I guess we could have reviewed. I think Impact at a pay-per-view, not Impact, TNA at a pay-per-view last week, or I think the week prior. It doesn't matter. It was not an interesting pay-per-view. There's your review. Okay. Well, then, before we get to anything else, I feel like we should start off with the Janel Grant stuff because that's stuff is pretty important. And I'm liking that we keep pace along with
literally the most important thing we were going to talk about today by a substantial margin.
Yeah, I totally agree. And we haven't even given our movie takes. Not a time for a joke, Ryan. Let's talk about Janel Grant because this is an important thing that did happen. I'm reading this from postwrestling.com's article titled, lengthy title. John, what are we doing? Janel Grant speaks publicly for the first time. Quote, by a series of miracles that I can't account for, I'm alive today. This is, of course, her first public appearance that we've already said with Janel Grant, where she spoke about where she was at on this past Thursday, a briefing for the Connecticut Alliance to End Sexual Violence among other survivors, advocates, and legislators. This was the first time she's spoken about her past years of her life and the restrictions that she had faced from a non-disclosure agreement with Vince McMahon. A lot of people had various different things to talk about. Her thing was obviously about her own experience, the sort of media reaction to it, I guess you could say, but also more importantly, the world of non-disclosure agreements and how that really affected her specific case. Not just her specific case. Herself, her life, herself.
The line that like could just give you an idea of like what this woman has gone through. She went outside, she said 10 times last year.
Yeah.
10 times.
Yeah. And it's awful. That's awful.
Like this isn't me making a joke. I've literally gone out 10 times in the past 3 days. Like that's crazy. Like that is the life she has to live.
Because you also have to think of like
things.
I mean,
because they put her on. They posted her photo.
Yeah,
she shouldn't have had to go through that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like she shouldn't have been harassed like that to the point where people know what she looks like. She didn't do anything to deserve that. She didn't do anything, period, to deserve what she's gone through. Yeah, sorry. I listened to 15 minutes of this and I just got really angry at the world and
I think that's fair.
the
Look,
the terrible, awful people that are anything but somehow not with her. Like the fact that she did this, the fact that she was able to talk for 15 minutes about this is so brave. So like, especially you have to remember everything she has against her. She has a giant corporation against her. She has a billionaire
that has doubled in size if you think about it.
Yeah, you're correct. Like since she was there, it has gone from a $1 billion corporation to a multi-billion dollar like just this massive I don't want to use conglomeration, but like it is this massive thing, right? It's no longer you're referencing WWE, you're referencing TKO, you're referencing all these different things, all these different people that are now involved that may have not been involved, but you know what? You know why they should be involved? Because they're the ones that bought the company when this was going on in the first place.
Yeah, I don't know if it's quoted in this article that I'm looking at. But there's a moment where she talked about her watching TV the day that the TKO stuff gets announced, and like she's seeing her, in her words, of course, her abuser on screen celebrating how much more money he's gonna have. It's like something to that effect that she says.
I remember that, and he looks like the skunk from the Looney Tunes.
Pepe Le Pew.
yeah. Like he still has that haircut, which is crazy. I don't really know how we were going to attack this. Were you going to like take quotes and then
I'm going to pull quotes from this article as we go through it,
right
and just sort of give our reactions and give our thoughts. Like I said, I think it's important that we talk about these sort of things. It is not just as many people probably are aware. These sort of things are not just sexual assault to sexual abuse, sexual misconduct, NDAs that hide all of these sort of things are obviously not just indicative to our wrestling world. It is sadly, as we've all learned in the past couple of years, Scotty, far more reaching than just our tiny little world of wrestling, but rather every country, almost every single country, major country under the sun. And look, Scotty, if it didn't work out any better, we are recording this live on Tuesday, the February 24th. We are going up against the State of the Union while we record this. So I think it's apropos that we talk about it in terms of a wrestling context. A victim, an alleged victim of alleged abuse. So yeah, it's important that we talk about this stuff. We always try to nail it home when we
I know we have to say alleged and stuff. I know we have to.
Sure.
I read the lawsuit.
Yeah, we did too. I did too.
No one has unfortunately that detailed of a experience. I guess I don't know what the word is. And also, I just have to say this before I forget. Fuck WWE for instantly posting Brock Lesnar's back like immediately after the video was posted everywhere. That made me so angry, like because I was late to it all, but like I literally saw so many people post like, here's the video, and then here's Brock, like, and I was like,
yeah,
it's just disgusting.
Yeah. There are things that WWE does that feels very directed towards Janel Grant and her things, and we'll talk about that momentarily. We'll talk about that in a minute. The big talking point here that she had that Post Wrestling brings up is the quote: "There are people living and working in fear here in Connecticut. There is a headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut right now that is full of intimidated people that I care very much about." I think she said about it, spoke a little bit about how her speech here is not necessarily directed towards like to a degree. I think it is directed towards the media, but it's not necessarily directed towards her, like her abusers or any of these other, or like fans or whatever, you know what I mean? It's more so about like speaking to other like sexual assault victims and like she's speaking about it specifically to those that are within WWE that she, according to her, seemingly has knowledge of other people that that are at WB headquarters that should say something, that are intimidated, and that's also that intimidation comes in the form of NDAs, as we know. She goes on to say, I'm just going to obviously pull quotes throughout here. She opened stating, quote, "By a series of miracles that I can't account for, I'm alive today." Then she went on to describe her life since the Wall Street Journal's first report in June of 2022. This is what she says. "I got a call that I didn't expect on the day of a very big meeting of a new job I had, and it was in front of my new bosses, and it was in front of a high-rise full of residents whose homes I was entrusted to protect. So imagine me getting a phone call I didn't expect, saying that at any minute, the Wall Street Journal will be publishing a story about me, Vince McMahon, and a non-disclosure agreement. I was told if anybody asked me about this, I can't make a comment. I can't acknowledge it. I can't say I'm not okay. And if anybody approaches me, I can't acknowledge years of life to people who saw me live it. And it was like somebody set fire to my home intentionally with me still inside of it. So I blacked out and I ended up in a closet with a belt and a stool placed under a little rod. And thank God somebody saw me and stopped me." Harrowing comments. Her immediate reaction to the Wall Street Journal thing, and to be clear, I don't necessarily see this as her against like the Wall Street Journal for publishing an article. I think it more so is sort of this thing of she's going to have to relive a portion of her life that was incredibly awful, and for it to become extremely public.
Yeah, I think it's more it being on the public display more
Yeah.
than necessarily
She was
anything
not
else.
the one that was presenting this.
No,
She was
no, she
her
didn't
telling her
want to
story.
do that. Again, in a world where someone who's abused could, do this, issue the lawsuit and do it in a way where we wouldn't hear about it, like I'm sure many, unfortunately, people have to go through in their lives. Not everyone that goes through this or something like this or anything like this has to then have the entire world hear about it and then voice their opinion one way or the other on it, like that's an added aspect to what is already so much trauma to begin with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we can't compare to what she's gone through, allegedly has gone through, I guess we have to say that. But you just think of like anyone's worst moments in life and just imagine again the world having to, being able to comment on that and know about that and all these different things. Again, it's just something you don't think of, and then that's what she's had to go through, and something so awful that she's had to go through that had already affected her so much in her life, and now it's going to be that twofold, if not, even more than that. And like I said, it is a major figure that
Yeah.
is part of it. So naturally, people are going to attack her, which I've seen even as recently as this past week.
Yeah. I'm going to shout out. This is an anti shout out. Shelly Martinez, former TNA wrestler, I think, going on a podcast and saying that like she hates Janel Grant for speaking like this and all these sort of things. And it's just insanely hateful comments versus to an alleged victim. But even then, even if it's allegedly, right? It's like Jesus fucking Christ. This woman just in these things that you're commenting on, Shelly Martinez, Janel Grant is talking about how she almost killed herself over all of this.
Right. Like,
which I guess I also, by the way, if you're struggling with any of this stuff, we're talking about a lot of serious things in the next several minutes. So apologize. Should have said at the beginning, trigger warning a little bit. Definitely trigger warning. Should have said at the beginning. Apologize for that.
Maybe skip forward about 20 minutes.
Yeah, here's your warning now.
If you don't hear it, I understand
I apologize.
That. Like yes, it is late on our behalf, but at the same time, it's a difficult thing to discuss. It's a difficult thing to experience. I will say this before you continue with the quotes. For her to go out there and talk for 15 minutes and do so on such a public domain, right? Like this was local television or internet or stream or something. I'm not sure exactly what it was.
CT-N.com Connecticut network.
Okay, yeah. So so stream local thing.
Yeah.
But to do it, not only to do it in all, right? But to do it in a way that, she's able to get herself through it she's able to smile even a little and do some things.
She cracks a couple
She
jokes.
cracks some jokes,
She's got
right,
to
like
keep it light out here.
yeah, like, she was explaining, like, how difficult it was to even do it, but she did it.
Yeah.
And, again, it's another moment of reliving that trauma, but she's doing so she can hopefully help others, and I think that is and was incredibly, courageous and brave of her, and, I hope she's able to keep pushing forward and doing what she can, right? Because so much of this, you've only said one quote. I recommend to anyone, if you can handle it, listen to the entire video.
Yeah.
Listen to the entire video.
She
Not to
doesn't go
say
into like super intricate details of anything. I mean,
yeah.
like the lawsuit
Right,
does,
right,
but
right, right. But
so
she
it's
she
a
says
little bit
enough.
breezier in that sense.
For sure. She says enough, and she says enough that you can understand where she's coming from, you can understand what she means and what she's gone through, and she's essentially one woman going against, again, an entire corporation and a billionaire and this and that, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's insane what
Yeah.
she has to go through, and the fact that she's able to do this is incredible. And I will also say this, um, for her to I didn't know this was happening, but the way I learned about it, and it's just because it's him, but Dave tweets Dave tweets, "This is must see," and I go, "Come on, man, you that's all he writes." I was like, there was just a different way to. It is like you do need to see it, but like I've seen him do that for like a wrestling match, so like that's all I could think of when it's Dave tweeting it. But that is how I found it because he like if you're a wrestling fan, this is must see. You kind of have to see this. This is
Yeah.
a major deal. But I'll let you keep going.
To that point you just brought up that the amount of bravery it takes to speak in public about this. I mean, obviously, it's been several years since the article broke out in July of
Again,
2022.
10 times outside last year, like it's still something that affects her heavily.
I wonder, she talked about how she was outside 10 times last year in 2025. I wonder what that number was of 2024 or 2023. You know what I mean?
I almost don't want to know.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I
Because it's
mean?
like terrifying,
Yeah.
because like you just said though, we're a few years removed from it being filed, and still like that's where we're at.
But I want to point out like the bravery aspect of things because, or what an interesting aspect to that bravery is that, as she stated at the beginning of her piece, is that she got this phone call about the Wall Street Journal article dropping when she is at a job interview for a new
Yeah.
job.
Yep.
When she is trying to move on in her life and her career. And I don't necessarily mean move on in the sense that she is trying to like ignore the past or anything. I don't know if we don't know if she ever had any intention of trying to break the NDA or doing anything around it or not break the NDA, but well, we do know that she sent an email to the WWE board about not getting the payments or anything for this NDA. So we don't know if she ever intended to sue or do anything about it. Obviously, once the lawsuit came out, she felt the need to sue for it. But this idea of like someone trying to move past it and maybe trying to do it on their own terms and being sort of forced to not do that and have it become public opinion and you don't really have a choice is a lot to take on, and I'm sure it's a lot to go through. And the fact that it has turned around to, and a lot of it through her lawyer, but by being public, I think it adds to it.
Yeah.
Becoming an advocate for other sexual assault victims, specifically maybe even in the wrestling space, I think is extremely commendable because, like we said, this is someone that was maybe trying to move on or trying to not get away from this section of her life for a little bit and maybe circle back to it mentally, emotionally later, but being forced to go through it. It's just, and becoming sort of on this other side right now, sort of an advocate, is very commendable. So I obviously respect Janel Grant a lot for that.
I will say it, and you're about to say it, like a lot of this is going after. Again, she's talking about her own experience, but a lot of it is very directed at TKO and WWE, which I found very interesting.
Yeah,
in a way, but continue.
Grant specifically noted that WWE reached out to her after the first reporting by the Wall Street Journal to participate in a joint statement that would label the relationship with Vince McMahon as "quote unquote" consensual, and implied they were willing to offer something in exchange, which Grant interpreted as money, which is kind of like an NDA, which is also the thing of like, you were supposed to pay me already for the NDA, now you're offering me more money to shut up, which is what an NDA is, and then we're just going to call this consensual. Grant said she refused to point out a joint statement and that the company went ahead anyways. If we all recall this, I remember this article, went ahead and called it a consensual relationship without her consent, which is an insane sentence. Called it a consensual relationship without the press release was even unconsensual. That's fucking crazy.
And not surprising though.
not surprised. Well, look, I'm trying to remember the timeline of when. I don't remember when that piece of it came out.
I don't either.
But I would say that Vince was gone by that point. He was, well, no, he wasn't gone. He was no longer running it, but he was still a member of the board.
Yeah, correct.
So this would have been.
Remember, he had the tweet, "I'm retiring from WWE. Goodbye."
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think at that time, that's where we were at.
He was kind of not really kind of also no longer the booker, even though he kind of was. But he was, and he was still on the board. He just wasn't like the CEO. Oh no, he wasn't even the CEO. It was just, he was still chairman of the board and was just like, he's still not working on WWE really.
He still just had his shares.
Yes.
I think that's where he was at that point, because he had to drop everything, because remember, he had to power himself back in.
Yes. Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
He must have still be a member of the board, but not the chairman. Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah. I think so.
Either way, if she's talking to somebody,
he still had majority of power.
Yes. Either way, if she's still talking to somebody during all this, it might not necessarily. Know that WWE reached out to her. We don't know who would reach out to her, but presumably the board would have been a part of it, a part of this PR move, and the fact that it would have been, what I'm trying to say is that like she would have had to kind of.
I don't mean to joke, but I've seen Succession. I have seen who's involved and what and things like that. Like, again, it's a TV show, but you do see like the inner workings of a company in a way that everyone knows. Like everyone knows, especially something like this. Everyone
knows. Grant said that she spent 6 figures to participate in the WWE's investigation with legal retainers and medical care that saved my life. That's a quote from her. I believe that somehow I would be interviewed for this investigation and get my life back and figured out what happened. Then the feds reached out. Oh, by the way, we also know that the investigation led to, I believe, nothing, if I recall. Then the feds reached out ahead of speaking with me. So while our hair was on fire and getting everyone onboarded, we gave them my evidence and said, review this in advance. The Fed informed us that this was now a covert investigation into human trafficking and criminal misconduct of WWE, Vince McMahon, and this NDA. If you want to know why this case, my federal civil lawsuit, is not an employment law case, that's because the feds requested that I say nothing, that this to be covert, that they could do the work. That they can do the work and that they needed to investigate human trafficking and criminal misconduct. So obviously the federal authorities have not publicly discussed the investigation or confirmed whether trafficking or alleged misconduct by Vince McMahon was being investigated. Criminal charges were not brought up against him, though he was required to repay $1.3 million and submit a penalty to the SEC for these undisclosed settlement payments. So that SEC is obviously part of the federal government. Whether or not those things are related, who the heck knows? Seemingly not related, but still.
Yeah.
Grant filed her lawsuit in January 2024 and described it as a choice she was hesitant to make because of what it would mean for her life. Quote, so I don't know how many more red flags you need, but going into 2024, when I filed my federal civil lawsuit at the last conceivable second, because I really didn't want to do this, I knew what I knew what I would be about to throw my life into, but I had been dragged in by this NDA into a federal investigation, the SEC, all the consequences, all the things that have happened that have made my life so small and isolated. I didn't start that. Again, going back to the thing we're talking about a little bit here, that once the Wall Street Journal things kicked off, it started this domino chain of events that she is kind of saying here felt that she was forced into being a part of. I do think that, like I said, I do think it does wrap around where she is now a willing participant in a lot of these things. And, she's saying dragged and forced and all these sort of things. But I do think it has, in my opinion of reading and watching everything, I think she is wrapped back around to like advocacy and trying to help. I don't think she would necessarily do an public thing if she didn't feel like it. Was important. But the idea that like the Wall Street Journal comes out, it's about the NDA, it becomes a federal investigation, the SEC gets involved, all these things. She didn't start any of this, but it's now gotten to this point where it's it's a massive, massive case.
Yeah.
Grant also criticized a very interesting part of the thing she mentioned. Grant also criticized the storyline on WWE programming in the summer of 2024, saying, quote, reporters and viewers noticed there were parallels between a storyline that unfolded for several months on television and my situation. The post-wrestling article, right, goes on to say that she did not mention which storyline, but parallels between Grant's case and the Liv Morgan story with Dominic Mysterio were not lost on viewers. Specifically, a scene where Dominic receives a text from Liv Morgan, which he then shows to the other male members of Judgment Day, whose reactions imply it contained nude photos. So this is a thing that obviously so many people picked up on when it was happening in real time, including, as we now know, Janel Grant picking up on this and saying, not explicitly, but basically saying, there was storylines that felt like fully out from my own life. And I imagine that she was not happy about that.
I wouldn't be. I mean, I'm sure like she was told and, she watched it and said, oh my God, that type of thing. Like, why, how could you not be disgusted by it? I remember like you said, I remember at the time, a lot of people kind of were like, wait a minute, like, and that was what, 2 years ago?
Summer of 2024. So yeah, it would have been a little under a year and a half.
Yeah. And when did and was the beginning of 2024, beginning of 2023 when Vince was kicked out of TKO too?
I want to say 2023. I can look that up for you real quick.
I think you're right.
2023.
2023. Yeah, it's 2024. 2023, he was involved with WrestleMania. So I think it was 2024. But I'm not sure. 2024 was 40 or 50. 40? Cody won.
Yep.
So yeah, I think it was 2024 then. Either way, I was just wondering. You could get it.
But yeah, I believe he was gone. The Wikipedia. Oh, one day after the report of the claims on January 26th, Deadline confirmed that McMahon had resigned from TKO. This would have been January 26, 2024. January 24, January 25th is when she filed her lawsuit against WWE. Well, I guess against McMahon, WWE, and John Laurinaitis. The next day is when he resigns from TKO.
Okay.
So January of 2024. That following summer of the same year is when the Liv Morgan, Dominic Mysterio storylines pop up. This is also, by the way, well after the parts where Vince McMahon is asked about the lawsuit.
Yep.
And he says that he hadn't read it. He hadn't read it.
Right.
He just happens to be writing stuff that is eerily similar to things brought up in the lawsuit.
Mm-hmm.
And also, Brock Lesnar is just mysteriously gone off of television at this point.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, that's the bulk of like the big things that come out of this is this press conference bit. Post has put in here, which I think is important to note. The Connecticut Alliance to End Sexual Violence is pushing for stronger protections for incarcerated survivors and further transparency and accountability. They're pushing for changes to the state's NDA laws that they believe silence survivors. So that's part of what she's talking about. Is that there's obviously a massive NDA lawsuit or lawsuit pertaining an NDA in the state of Connecticut. So she's obviously one of the reasons why she's bringing it up here. I think it's pretty crazy that she hasn't made a public appearance in several years. She's only been outside rarely. This case, sadly, is going to continue and going to continue for a little while. I think where we left off with the case is that the federal, I think it's just the feds are currently investigating it themselves. And so her case isn't really moving forward until that is wrapped up.
Yeah, I think you're right.
The obvious problem is that like who from the federal government is looking into it? Is it the same people in the federal government that are looking into the Epstein files, Scotty? Well, I mean, we all know how that's going. So yeah, it's a question of like her case is on pause until that happens. When will that ever get solved? And will it get solved in a positive manner? That one that,
Yeah.
And that's the other problem with too, of just like, not to get the whole political spiel of it, but we are against the State of the Union. Not to get in the whole political spiel of things of too as well, Scotty, but it is this thing of like, the reality of the situation is that like with the whole Epstein cover-up stuff that's been happening, whatever result or any result that isn't necessarily for Janel Grant, or any result in general is going to be extremely suspect from this current administration, I would argue.
Yep.
So, definitely go watch it. It is some harrowing stuff. It's really awful what's happened to her, as she describes it. But yeah,
I'll say watch
final
it
thoughts
because
for the Janel Grant stuff.
I'll say watch it because you have to know it took her a lot to do that, and I'll keep stressing that, but it's not something easy to do, and it's why, like after I watched it, I literally messaged you like this is the like number one thing we have to talk about. Nothing else really matters as much as talking about this and just bringing it up. Even that's something we've tried to consistently do, is at least bring it up, and give who listened to the show even a little bit of information. And you and me talked about it today, like, well, the Elimination Chambers this weekend. I was like, yeah, and they don't get any of that coverage. Absolutely not. Like, this is their coverage this week. This is WWE's coverage in full. So yeah, hopefully I just continue to hope that she can get some justice someday here. But a very brave, courageous speech that she had. And we'll see where it goes, but there is something about showing your faith. It's like one of those things where it's, for her, it shows she's not they don't want people to take this the wrong way, but she's not afraid to, show face and prove to, what it be, Vince, TKO, whoever, like, hey, I'm here and I'm gonna keep fighting. And I think that's again, very, very courageous, very important, very, very, and something that if you watch, hopefully you take away something from it. I took away the same thing I've taken away from most of this stuff, and that that company is rotten to the core, no matter who owns it, and it's still rotten to the core, and it'll continue to be rotten to the core until further notice.
Yeah, it stays in the family, doesn't it, Scotty?
It sure does. And I'm gonna leave it there for now.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. And to drive that point home is that she feels that she was dragged into a lot of different things. I highly doubt that she was dragged to make a public appearance speech at this thing. Like I said, I think this is a choice of her own volition. It was Sadly, it was a choice that she was able to make on her own choice, on her own regard, and the fact that she had the bravery to do that and speak out and say something, knowing that like she's going to get more hate, as then ended up happening in such a disgraceful way. The fact that she's able to say something is truly commendable. Obviously, take some guts. Take some guts, Scotty. Well, let's do a hard transition from the Janel Grant topic and talk about Ring of Honor. That's right. We're going to talk about Ring of Honor. I could come up with all the transitions in the world, but I'm not going to do that. But there's this notable thing that popped up for Ring of Honor in that they have some tapings, some standalone
TV on immediately. Just want everyone to know that
this coming weekend, Ring of Honor will hold a standalone television taping in Jacksonville, Florida, at the WJCT Studios in Jacksonville on Sunday, March 1st. This, by the way, WJCT Studios, Scotty, I don't know if you know this, across the street from Daly's place, if you can believe it.
Shocked.
The matches will air on future episodes of Ring of Honor TV on Honor Club. Tickets to the show are free, with everyone who pre-registers eligible to receive up to 4 tickets. All tickets are general admission, and it's noted that the space is limited. Once the venue reaches capacity, guests will be held until seating becomes available. So yeah, what this means, any of this means is I truly don't know, right? It's this thing where Ring of Honor has done television tapings before. There was, they've done tapings, in Texas before. They've done tapings. I want to say that one thing was at like Universal Studios before. I think they taped in Florida. They've done TV tapings before, and it obviously never led anywhere, which was always a shame. A lot of people are giving their side eyes to this, including ones of Ian Riccaboni. His glasses gave me a little side eye as well.
Positive side eye.
Positive. These are all positive side eyes. That maybe that this is a sign. The fact that it's happening in Jacksonville, this feels like what could be some sort of pilot of something, is what people are maybe thinking. There is hope potentially on the horizon for Ring of Honor. I don't know exactly. We don't know exactly where this stuff will air once it's done. Like I said, this could just be simply for eventually air on Honor Club taping. I mean, they're saying that it is an Honor Club taping, but they're testing something out by having some tapings in Jacksonville. It's something you tested out before, but does it? I think the big question here that everyone's talking about is they've tested out before, but with all the side-eyed action that's happening, does this mean that we might finally, Scotty, be getting a Ring of Honor television show on actual broadcast television, not broadcast, but on some sort of TV platform?
No.
Still
extreme. I just think like maybe it's going in a positive direction where one, there's care. That should be step 1, 2, and 3. Outside of care from Ian Riccaboni and Caprice Coleman. I think there can be care, there can be focus, there can be literally anything to make someone want to watch it. Because Ryan, I don't know you. When was the last time you watched Honor Club?
Ooh,
TV.
Got to be 06. I don't know.
Yeah,
very long time. It definitely was on YouTube.
I see people trying to say like, oh, it's better now. I'm like, is better now like I should go out of my way to watch it or no? Because
define better now.
Right, like better. Is it better in that it was really bad? So like, because like I don't know. I'm looking at the results. Every single one of these matches were 7 minutes or less.
I think what's interesting to me is that like what is, and I think that's what I really am looking for when it comes to
what is better.
Things. What is better? What is something that would be
direction?
Interesting? It's like well, that's the thing. There is what do we need in this TV taping that give us a sign that there's actual hope for Ring of Honor? It can't just be matches. We need to see like actual like storylines develop.
Yeah, you have to see a promo be cut in a ring.
And I'm sure they've loosely existed in Ring of Honor.
They definitely aren't cutting promos in rings though.
No.
And listen, I'm not saying Ring of Honor should become a promotion. I'm just saying should become something. Okay. Here's what Ring of Honor, for it to mean something to me, you have to reach the level of an NXT or TNA in the way they produce their television.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not saying, I think that's the best.
I mean, not NXT.
No, but I'm not. People can mock NXT all they want, but people watch NXT because there's stuff happening. There's storylines, there's promos, there's segments. And again, this is Ring of Honor. I'd rather be more wrestling than not, but you need direction. You don't need every few weeks someone saying, "Oh, I wish I could defend my title." This time being Deonna Purrazzo. Who could have saw the women's pure title not having a title defense? You need to see actual stuff. NXT has actual stuff. Is it good stuff? That's not for me to decide, but it has actual stuff. TNA has actual stuff. Is it good stuff? That's not for me to decide, but it's stuff. It's real stuff that are developing and moving forward. This show is just 7-minute matches.
Yeah.
Right? You have talent. You have signed 1 million freaking people. You can do this. You can make this an interesting show with young and new and top talent. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. Because, yes, I understand. Well, people don't complain about the pay-per-views. Yeah, because the pay-per-views are good. Pay-per-views are good. But, what do you want from me? I understand the pay-per-views are good, but it needs to be more than just pay-per-views.
Yes.
Which I'd argue. Hear me out here.
Here you go.
Not enough. It's not enough.
No.
The 3 pay-per-views a year are nothing.
Yeah, it is something where it's we've talked about it for a long time, is that these pay-per-views are pretty they don't have anything going into it, but you watch it and it's yeah, this was a pretty great show or a pretty solid show, of great wrestling. Right. It's yeah, AEW in a vacuum can put on a great show, a great solid wrestling show.
Right.
But to sustain television, as we've all learned, you can't just put on a television show that has wrestling on it with no through line.
Well,
and like I said, again, I'm sure there are through lines in Ring of Honor that are happening.
Sure.
It just feels like it's not every single match. It's maybe one or two of the title, someone building up to Lee Moriarty defense, or some things happening with Billy and Starks and Athena. I don't know. I assume, you know what I mean? I assume there's something happening there, but it is just a matter of what are we doing here?
Right. It needs
substance.
It needs substance. It needs to matter. It needs literally anything. It needs there to be a reason to tune in, or at least watch a match.
Yeah.
Let's not start with watch the whole show. Let's just make something worth watching on the show first, whether it be a segment, a promo, or a match.
Yeah.
That's step 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah. So we'll find out. Obviously, again, these tapings are this weekend, March 1st, which I believe was a Saturday. Sunday is March 1st. Jesus Christ, March already. January felt like 5 years. February has felt like maybe just a year. Long, but not as long. Famously shorter. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about the New Japan Cup. It is obviously the yearly the yearly single elimination tournament from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Starting this year, March 4th, would be the first several matches. Then we got the 5th, and all the way down to the finals on March 21st. What you were saying, Scotty?
I said that's next week.
That's next week. That is next week indeed. I think the Wednesday is the 4th.
New Japan Cup. You like the New Japan Cup?
Do I like the New Japan Cup? Well, let's pull up the roster. Let's pull up the old.
I already have my bracket filled.
Oh well, we're gonna fill it out for everyone here as well.
You're gonna fill your own out. I already have mine.
Well, you can say it out loud, and I'll draw some dots on it.
I have it ready and saved. I will show it.
Okay. Well, I can't even draw dots on this. Draw lines on this in this,
Good job.
In this full screen thing.
Nice.
That stinks. Why can I not do that? Why can I not do that?
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Okay, well, this is gonna have to do. All right, so Scotty, let's talk about the cup. I guess we actually are just gonna look at the screen first. That's because I want to talk about the cup itself this year. We've talked about it, I think, maybe briefly when they first announced it, Scotty, but quite honestly, every year it feels like the cup gets a little bit worse. And this year, there's like no stars for the most part, and like I don't know. I think this is a boring lineup. I think this is like there's not a whole lot of I mean, the first round matches, a lot of them don't excite me. A good portion of them don't excite me. Maybe down the line things will get more exciting, but a lot of the first round matches don't necessarily excite me.
This is what the company is, though. Like here, I'm gonna say it. They shouldn't be bringing anyone in that isn't their company. This is exactly what they should be doing. It may not be exciting, but this is what they have to be doing.
Agreed. I definitely agree. The New Japan Cup is a stark reminder every year of the state of the New Japan roster.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this year is a big reminder, if anything.
Listen, I think if they pick the right people, it can get it to be a very intriguing tournament. But they have to pick the right people. And I think every matchup truly is set for you have to pick the right person for the most part. Outside of like poor Yoshihashi. Like I think this year, like there's a very clear we can't fuck this up type thing.
Yeah.
Like we can't. You can't. There's so many options here that you can't mess up.
Yeah, and it's a matter of whether or not they will. because
they're gonna mess something up. That's a guarantee. But I don't know. I think there's enough here that when you get to the quarterfinals and the semifinals and the finals, it's at the very least intriguing.
Yeah. Well, let's figure that out. I'll fill this out. You just give us your results, I guess, as we talk.
I'll tell you what, man. Though Evil is missed.
I tell you what, I put an Evil in my finals. I'm gonna write him in. I'm gonna take out Yujiro and write an Evil.
You literally put Evil. You literally had Evil win last year.
I know, and he should have.
I agree.
All right, let's go through this. So on March,
let's see how Ryan fills out his bracket here.
Here we go. On March 4th, we have two matchups here: Yuya Uemura versus Great Okan, and Aaron Wolf versus Don Fale. Starting off strong, Scotty. Starting off strong.
Aaron Wolf versus Don Fale is actually the correct booking.
I actually agree. It's not not an exciting matchup. Not an exciting matchup.
No.
But it should be what you're doing. And maybe I'm crazy for it. I'm going to put Aaron Wolf in here.
That's not crazy. That's just frankly correct.
I think it should be correct. There's always a chance Aaron Wolf is a young lion that he will lose, right?
He's a young wolf.
But look, he should be beating Don Fale. Like, what are we doing? He's at the end of the day, he's also a former champion, so we got to give him that.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident he beats Don Fale.
Yuya Uemura and Great Okan.
Take the geek out. Take the geek out.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Uemura. I mean, that honestly, it would be a massive upset if Great Okan won.
Okay, looking at this first round, I think the most upset result I could have is Great Okan beating Uemura.
Fully agree. Fully agree. Like that's the thing. Don Fale beating Wolf. Yeah. I mean, I could see it.
I get it. It's not correct. It's not the right choice, but like I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah.
Great Okan beating Yuya Uemura, just shut the company down.
Round
fire
one,
Gato tomorrow. Yeah.
Next up, we have Taichi versus Ren Narita on the 5th of March.
Let them go. Let them get on the mat and just do the thing. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I'm concerned that we're not going to have it. And then we have, of course, El Phantasmo versus Bolton Oleg.
Oleg should squash him.
I am going to go Ren Narita. Only because, look, he's champion, and the person he would then face is Taichi's tag partner in Ishii. I personally would enjoy more Taichi versus Ishii. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Chance in hell you got that.
Ren Narita wins the title, and that's great and all, but now you also have to push him a little bit after winning the title, after winning the Never Openweight Championship. So it only makes sense that he gets another win.
To me, and you'll see it on my bracket, I think like every quarter is very obvious to me.
And then El Phantasmo versus Bolton Oleg. I mean, like you said, get the geek out of here.
Yeah, like we're gonna have a problem if it's not Bolton Oleg, quite frankly.
I mean, is El Phantasmo the TV? Who's the TV champion right now? Is it El Phantasmo?
It's Phantasmo, but he is facing Takeshita Friday
for the title.
Yeah.
Well,
unless they're going to another draw,
always could.
It's like the easiest title to give Takeshita.
I agree, because then you just have it on TV. You can have it on Dynamite. That's easy.
That and you could just like have him come in and do some sick 15-minute matches, which I think I prefer from Takeshita, quite frankly. So, yeah, works.
Yoshihashi versus Jake Lee, a match made in hell on the 6th. I mean, Jake Lee's sadly winning this one.
I believe that might be the anniversary show ones. Which
I think
disgusting. You're right. Oh no, it's not. It's not because Oscar Vercalum's not on there. I think it. I have no idea. Whatever. Who cares? Doesn't matter.
The anniversary's on Friday. This would be the anniversary show.
6th? Yeah, it is. Holy
Jake Lee versus Yoshihashi and Oscar versus Callum Newman.
See, that's like an exciting first round matchup.
Yeah, I agree.
The problem is for me is that like I would love the idea of pushing Oscar as like this monster, but they kind of have to push Callum Newman
in the same way that you have to push Ren Narita, you have to push Callum Newman.
Yeah.
Now I'm not having any upsets so far, by the way, unless you count the Aaron Wolf upset.
Well, some people may call these upsets the way New Japan books because they hate young people.
Because it makes you upset.
Yeah. Shout out Hartley Jackson. Moving on.
But yeah, Jake Lee, Jake Lee winning over Yoshihashi, my pick. Callum Newman over. Is anything different for you so far?
I think I am exact so far.
All right, perfect. Of course, next match we're gonna have a night off, and then the 8th.
Oh, big juice.
We got Chase Owens versus Shota Umino, a match made in hell.
That's a match made in hell. Let me tell you, I'll be pissed if Shota Umino loses. Never thought I'd say that again.
Of course, if you thought that was bad, the winner of which faces Yujiro Takahashi.
Listen, that's better than Chase Owens, man.
The most cursed section of the bracket in the history of professional wrestling. I think it's
funny. There's a world where it could be Chase Owens versus Yujiro Takahashi.
There's a world where I don't have eyeballs. It's that world. Shota Umino, I agree. He should win. I'm not even going to consider an idea of an upset or anything.
Why they should? This is the problem with New Japan Pro Wrestling. Why do you keep bringing him back?
Who? Chase Owens? Shota Umino? Yujiro Takahashi? You gotta pick your points here, Scotty.
Listen, no, I know why Yujiro's there. He is a vet that the people like. Like, and when I say the people, I mean like the people backstage. I know why Shota Umino's there. Why the fuck is Chase Owens here? He brings nothing. Also,
he brings a body to eat a pin, but anyone could. A young lion could have done it.
A young lion could have done it. A junior could have done it. I could have done it. Anyone could have done it. That's not him.
Chris Charlton could have done it. You know what I mean? Like,
right, like done it. Anyone else.
Red Shoes. That'd be fun. Red Shoes versus Shota Umino.
It'd be better.
And then honestly, this is
your main event.
The main event of the first round, I would argue. I think this is probably the best match of the entire first round. Yuto Ice versus Rohei Oiwa.
Yeah, that gets the juices flowing, baby.
That gets the juice flowing indeed.
The problem, what's the problem with this match? One of them aren't going on.
I agree. The literal toughest option that I honestly am not entirely sure.
Guy like me would have had this be the final.
Let's see. Ice versus Rohei Oiwa. Obviously, you have the winner of which facing Zack Sabre Jr. Oiwa, Zack Sabre Jr. teammates. I agree. That kind of decides it. Could be the upset because then that also can spin off into a tag title challenge,
which they already had at New Year's Dash.
Yeah, which they could also do with Newman. So to that extent, you could set that up with Newman and I don't know.
Zane J? Question mark.
Zane J. What's the other? Jacob Austin Young.
Not Great O'Con.
Well, okay, hold on. So I'm going to say this. I'm going to say Yuta Ice gets the win because we're going to do United Empire next for the tag titles.
Okay.
There is an idea circling back to Great
No,
Okan.
there is not. There is not.
Who is Newman's tag partner going to be?
He doesn't have. Well, Okan and Hanari are back together, so I don't know.
That's a good question because I was going to say you could do Okan by beating Uemura, the former.
Nah, that's okay.
Other #1 contenders for the tag titles, and do it that
fine.
way.
It's fine.
Yeah.
So we're good, Chief.
How different is this from what you have? I don't think it's that much.
We are exact.
All right, here is where things maybe start getting a little more fun. On the 10th, I have Yu Uemura and Drilla Maloney against each other, and then Aaron Wolf against Shingo Takagi. I have Shingo winning. Aaron Wolf gets one win, that's fine, and then he loses. I think that's perfectly fine. Shingo should also be winning. What are we doing here?
Yeah, you gotta have a vet win once in a while.
Yeah. Also, a matchup that I am extremely excited for. Shingo versus Aaron Wolf. I really want that to happen. That sounds very great.
Listen, like I just said though, like once you get by the first round, it gets a lot better.
It blooms a little bit. And then you have Drilla Maloney versus Yu Uemura. Of course, Drilla and Shingo are a little bit of a tag team connection here. You can have them face off. They have a history of facing off of each other. But I'm going to do Yu Uemura.
Or we could have the cooler match because there's big stakes there. There's meaning there.
But again, also what I'm pointing out here, Scotty, what I do think is interesting, this little thread I'm picking up here, a little bit of a tag team conversation. Newman over Oscar, Yuta Ice versus Oiwa, Yu Uemura, a tag team guy beating Great Okan, another tag team guy.
You call Yu Uemura a tag team guy again, and I'm gonna jump through this.
He is in a tag team. You can't deny that.
He's a great tag team wrestler, but you know what? The New Japan Cup's for different things, okay?
But the point I'm saying here is that he's in a tag team. He's going to beat Great Okan, who's in a tag team. He's then going to face Drilla Maloney, who's in a tag team with Shingo, and then face his partner, in my pick, afterwards. Like what I'm saying is that there's this thread of tag teamness.
I don't want to be that guy. You could have done this every year, the New Japan Cup, ever. Everyone's technically in a tag team. Well, that being said, I think it's wicked funny that this year, because the tag belts are way better than the every other belt,
that's on point.
That kind of drives your attention a little bit more.
That's kind of what I'm pointing out here.
Yeah. All right, Ren Naruto versus Tomohiro Ishii. Now that's a match.
And then of course Boltin Oleg and Hanare. I don't know. I'm gonna go Ren Narita over Ishii.
He's in the evil role, brother.
He's in the evil role. Ishii's also like allegedly injured off of Dynamite, so he's supposedly going into this tournament injured. I don't know if that's going to carry over, but we'll find out.
Sold out. See you later. Bye-bye.
And then Boltin Oleg and Hanare. Part of me wants Hanare to move forward, but also I know that Hanare is a free agent, allegedly. There's also something to Ren Narita and Boltin Oleg, who I believe face off each other for the Never title, but at the very least, Boltin Oleg and Evil faced off each other over the Never Openweight title. So I kind of like Boltin Oleg over Hanare here to then do Ren Narita and Boltin Oleg. Any thoughts on that, Scotty?
Nothing.
Continue. All right. Next up, Jake Lee and Hiroki Goto and Callum Newman versus Hartley Jackson. I'm going to have Callum Newman win.
I like that you kept yourself away from Jake.
Yeah, by having Newman win, it does put it in a position of it shouldn't be Jake Lee. And I don't want it to be Jake Lee. Hiroki Goto, please get the win over Jake Lee.
I think Goto beats Jake
Lee. He's got it, right? I think it's that. I think it's Goto over Jake Lee. Because I think it's also in establishing a hierarchy potentially. Because if Jake Lee versus Newman happens, that could also establish a hierarchy. But former champion Goto losing in his first match is kind of
they're not
ridiculous.
Doing Jake Lee versus Callum Newman.
I know. I would it would establish hierarchy, but this is also a way to establish hierarchy with Hiroki Goto not losing his first match.
I truly don't think I would want to see a match less than Jake Lee versus Callum Newman.
I mean, I don't want to see a match with
Jake Lee.
Oh yeah, I don't want to see anyone against Jake Lee.
Like Jake Lee could be facing any of these people. He is almost as bad in my heart as some other people on this thing that we've been mocking.
Speaking of, Yujiro Takahashi versus Shota Umino is the next matchup here. I'm going to put Shota next, getting another win, getting another dub, going down the line. Yuta Ice versus Zack Sabre Jr.
Then the winner faces Shota. Oh my God, kill me. Kill me now. Kill me dead. Kill me dead.
Do I want to do the main event of not last year's, but 2 years of Wrestle Kingdom? Or do I want to do Shota Umino versus?
It was last year's Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah. Well, technically 2 years. Well,
no, because
it would have been last year, 2045. You're right.
Yeah, they've wrestled like 10 times since then for some reason. Oh no, sorry, their match is still going. Continue.
I do not know what I want to do. I think I'm gonna have Zach win and do that match. I don't like it. I should go farther. Should he go farther? But over Zack Sabre Jr.? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like in the same way, it's like, and also I know that they love this matchup, so I think that's.
Don't you worry. Don't you worry, Ring Post Radio faithful. I wouldn't be that lame. I went with Yuta Ice. Don't you worry. You know why? Because I want to get high tonight, baby.
I think Yuta Ice over Zack Sabre Jr. would be like the actual first upset of the tournament. If that happens,
it would be the best upset possible. Actually, the best upset possible would be Yuta Ice winning the whole thing.
I guess technically Jake Lee over Goto would also be an upset, in my opinion.
Please don't do that. No.
Yu Uemura versus Shingo. And also Ren Narita versus Bolton Oleg. Oh boy. Hold on. How young am I making this? Yu Uemura, Shingo, Ren Narita, Bolton Oleg, Hiroki Goto, Callum Newman, Shota Umino, Zack Sabre Jr. Pretty young tournament.
You got an old in each one.
I got an old in each one.
Except for Ren Narita and Bolton.
Okay. Yu Uemura and Shingo Takagi. Ren Narita and Bolton Oleg. I'm gonna go Bolton Oleg. Call me maybe crazy. Maybe crazy. Never giving a never open weight title match. Why not? I also see down the line like an Aaron Wolf Bolton Oleg tag team.
That'd be sick.
I think it would be sick. Let's start establishing it here. Then it's who's facing Bolton Oleg. I mean, I hate to say it. I mean, I gotta put Shingo in there. Who's facing Bolton Oleg? I'm gonna put Shingo in that spot.
See, now you're just gonna be wrong the rest of the way.
I fear that I am. This is the part where I start falling apart every single time. Hiroki Goto versus Callum Newman. And then also Shota Umino versus Zack Sabre Jr.
You're obviously gonna pick the white boy.
Zack Sabre Jr.
We
could do Goto versus Zack Sabre Jr.'s in the semifinals.
You could. It accomplished like nothing, but you could. You know, this bracket lacks getting high tonight.
There is a part of here's the thing. I'm looking at Goto versus Zack Sabre Jr. I am looking at Callum Newman versus Zack Sabre Jr. as well. Shota Umino, is he going anywhere? This is also starting to divulge into like my preferences because I'll say already. I'm gonna put Shingo over Bolton Oleg.
And you're wrong. All right, finish the other side now.
I'm gonna do. Yeah, Shingo saying that he wants to take a bunch of dates off and getting this far is kind of crazy.
Oh, you already picked.
I am gonna go. I'm gonna go with. Oh man, I'm gonna go with Shota Umino defeating Zack Sabre Jr.
Still sticking with your preferences.
My preferences never Shota Umino. What are you talking about?
You're a big Shota Umino guy now.
No, you are famously the guy that supported Shota Umino before I did.
No one
remembers
that. No one remembers that.
How dare you, sir?
No one remembers that. People don't come here for my New Japan takes.
Callum Newman and Hiroki Goto. Let's say fuck it. I'm gonna say Callum Newman.
It's not really fuck it. He's like very, very well positioned to be the guy that wins.
And to that end, I'm gonna do Callum Newman versus Shingo.
Callum Newman versus Shingo Takagi in the New Japan. Then you have to pick a winner
to face the World Heavyweight Champion, who is of course the person I remember.
Suji. You're a guy, and you don't even remember him.
Let's see. Callum Newman, Shingo Takagi versus Yota Tsuji. Which one? I mean, Shingo obviously gets me going. Callum Newman, is this too much of a push?
Not for a company that's lost everyone.
I'm gonna go with Shingo. I'm gonna go Shingo all the way. Shingo, winner of the New Japan Cup.
Okay, look at that. You went with Shingo all the way. I did not expect that to be the result.
I never do, but every once in a while I surprise myself.
Ryan always starts picking from the heart.
I do.
Or gets crazy. I gotta respect that.
That is true. That is true.
Good job.
Do you want to share your bracket?
Sure do. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this beauty.
Oh, that clean line. Look at these clean, beautiful, crisp, clean lines.
Clean lines. Of course, we were getting high tonight as far as we could before Shota Umino ruined the party. Pretty similar brackets almost all the way though. We were pretty on key. I picked Yuya over Shingo. And then I had Yuya go to the final to lose to Callum Newman. So we both I picked Callum Newman to win the whole thing. Did I enjoy it? No, thanks for asking. But
quite the push.
I think we're going super push. I watched him squash David Finlay essentially, with like the weirdest end to a match ever. Now if David Finlay just comes back, it's all very funny. But yeah, this is where I showed him versus Callum Newman, Yuya Uemura versus Bolton Oleg. But I just want it to be known, Udo beat Ryo Heiiwa and Zack Sabre Jr., and that's really all I cared about. So
putting TMDK to sleep.
Yep. He's actually going to make them get high and then put them to sleep.
So your final four were Callum Newman, Shota Umino, Bolton Oleg, and Yuya Uemura. Very, very fun final four. Mine was Shingo, Bolton Oleg, Shota Umino, and Callum Newman. The only difference we had is Yuya and Shingo. And then you had Newman.
And we both picked them as finalists. So let's get high tonight, brother.
Yeah,
I think Red Naruto could very well just make the semis, though.
Yeah, I agree. I think Bolton Oleg, I went with the never open weight title defense matchup is why I did Bolton first. I imagine you were similar.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can totally see it as Ren Narita. And that's the other thing. I can see Ren Narita. Like, that's the thing. Ren Narita could win over Bolton Oleg and then lose to either Shingo or Yuya Uemura. And then that's the title match. And like whoever that is loses against, let's say, Newman.
Yeah. I couldn't pick to me, Newman's like the only pick that feels like something.
Yeah.
So that's why I went with him.
I get that.
It would be cool if like a Uemura won, but I mean it has to be someone young. That's pretty much where I landed in this tournament. It has to be someone young. And I think they need to know that.
I think in that same regard, Scotty, that's why I picked Shingo. Has to be someone young. So Shingo gets the win.
Because he married Natsupoi? Is that what makes him young?
No, it's the fact that it has to be someone that's young. It means someone young is not going to win.
Big Gato brain type shit.
I gotta think how Gato thinks, which is not good.
All right, we're gonna keep sharing screens today because I like that. I'm gonna share this screen so we can have this. Let's have a little fun. Let's be more interactive, huh?
Sure.
Well, this is a show.
New beginning and in USA. Can you believe it, folks? They're here in the Cure Insurance Arena
in New Jersey,
in Trenton, New Jersey. Everyone named after the band, I'm sure. Scotty looking at the tickets, seeing if you get see if we get the seat map on Ticketmaster. Very nice. Pulling up Ticketmaster. Can you believe it, folks?
This is real analyzation. Yeah.
Yeah, he's getting into it, folks. What are we? How are we doing?
Not good.
I can't. Well, it's not too bad. It gets a little worse. Okay.
It's pretty bad, dude. That's
that whole section. I mean, there has to be other sections that are sold out. Like there's other 200s that are sold out.
Are we sure?
No, I mean, I have no idea.
Like this could be it. Like this could be all
that would be incredibly stupid if they just had that one section. I wonder if they put that section up out recently.
They sold
what's the closest seat? What's the price?
$561. No wonder why they're not selling.
Yo.
All right, let's see about what about this one? That's probably the same one, right? 561. What about back? 160. Yeah, they're charging too much.
According to WrestleTix, this is 2 days ago. They had 419 available tickets. Tickets distributed 2,300. And looking at the seat map, they posted that 200 section that we were looking at that's like completely empty is not listed here. So that is 100% a section that they put up for extra tickets.
That's recently. Good. That's good. Okay. That makes me feel better. I thought they were just going to be walking out there to no one. Like
so the current setup was 2,700, and they obviously just released a whole nother section of seats. So that's pretty good.
They did in Lowell, Massachusetts.
Yeah,
I remember that. They did that here. Anyways, the card.
The card. Let's talk about the card. Interesting little mix show here. Obviously, New Japan and USA. They're going to be having a lot of American people on the show. A lot of AEW talent is also on the show. The first match is obviously the most interesting one. Kind of a talking point.
What is this? CMLL? Sorry.
What is this? CMLL? Fred Rosser versus David Finlay is your opening match here. Obviously, the rumors are that David Finlay is leaving New Japan. There are new rumors saying that they're making a play to keep him. That places he has some suitors out there: AEW, New Japan, WWE. And Fred Rosser's here. It wouldn't be a new beginning show if Fred Rosser wasn't here in the U.S. Shout out. Also, if I'm not mistaken,
back in the day.
Wasn't Fred Rosser like agenting for AEW or something recently?
I have no idea.
I think I read that somewhere. I'm gonna look that up. But nice little opening match here. Scotty, do you think this is David Finlay's final New Japan match here?
No.
Why is that? Because he's going to AEW and wrestling at Forbidden Door?
Because I think Tony Khan doesn't want him. And I think they probably are trying to put him in NXT. And I think that's going to make him be like, I don't know, man.
I agree. He's up there in age, too.
No, he is not.
Oh, what's his age? He is 32.
That is not up there in age, even remotely.
That is a prime NXT guy.
He's actually incredibly young and should be winning the New Japan World Heavyweight Championship this year. That's what he should be doing.
I agree. Fred Rosser, he's not agenting AEW. He is training Stephen Borden, one of Sting's children.
Hey, how about that? That's the one that looks just like Sting.
I wonder if they're going to do a dark match with Steve Borden opening.
David Finlay wins.
Yeah, David Finlay wins. I mean, I guess there's a chance that he loses and he's officially on his way out, but I like to see this as him winning. Second match of the card.
Our New Japan Cup talk. I'm having Boltin Oleg win this.
New Japan Strong Openweight Championship, Tomohiro Ishii versus Boltin Oleg.
Put all the openweight belts in one person.
Why not?
And we morph them.
Morph them.
New Japan Strong doesn't fucking exist anymore.
Well,
this is not called. This isn't New Japan Strong anymore, bitches. It's just the new beginning.
That is a good point. That is a good point.
I don't know, David. Thank you.
That's a great point. I would. Stop scrolling. Stop scrolling. Gotta go through this.
Defense.
Boltin Oleg over Ishii. I think that's not a bad idea. Bring the title back to Japan. Now again, I'm not going to stand this New Japan Strong slander, Scotty. This is upsetting to folks like me that respect their champions, like Niebla Roja.
Those are the only champions that actually defend the belts.
That's true. What are you talking about? Tomohiro Ishii's on his second defense. That means he's defended it at least once.
For over a year.
He's defended it. Factually.
That's true. He has defended it more than Shuri, but he's also had it a lot longer than Shuri. Things to consider. That title has changed hands.
Third match, AEW National Championship. Ricochet on his 8th title defense all over the world against Taiji Ishimori.
All right, Ryan, you're going to name all of Ricochet's title defenses.
Do you have cage match open?
I sure do.
All right, Jack Perry.
This is not his 8th defense, by the way. It's his 7th.
Is he defending it between now and Friday?
I don't know. Good question.
Right. He could be on Dynamite.
All right,
yes.
so Jack Perry.
Teton. I think I watched that one recently. He wrestled in Rev Pro recently.
I'll give you it. He wrestled Jack Perry twice.
So He wrestled in Rev Pro recently.
He sure did. There's no way. If you name this name, I will give you the rest for free.
I know this is wrong. The only name that's coming to my head is JJ Gale. But I know that's wrong.
Nino Bryant.
Yes. He's part of a tag team, but actually a trio, if I'm not mistaken, to Rev Pro.
Sure, man. Can you name the other two?
What are the other promotions?
Ring of Honor and AEW Collision.
Oh, Ring of Honor was his first defense.
Yep. In Final Battle 2025.
What the fuck did he face at Ring of Honor?
It went an egregious 14 minutes and 57 seconds.
Who the fuck did he go up against? And I watched this. I watched this matchup.
Can't believe you don't remember. I can't believe you don't remember that he faced
Dalton Castle.
Yes. Oh, what a snipe! It had one more.
It had to have been a Ring of Honor, like actual Ring of Honor wrestler. And I was like, I don't know. Dalton Castle's the only one that comes to mind.
You got one more. You can go 5 out of 6, and I'd argue Nino Bryant is a fine one to miss.
What was the other promotion?
More. AEW Collision.
AEW Collision. Okay, hold on. Let me think. I don't think I've seen this. Was this year?
It was last year.
Oh no.
A day after Final Battle.
Oh, he defended it after Final Battle.
There's no way.
I have no clue.
Ace Austin.
Oh yeah, sure. Sure.
What a title reign.
Do you think we're gonna get the Ishimori of old here against Ricochet?
Not a chance. This match is gonna be a 2 3/4 classic.
I fully agree. 2 3/4. It's average. It's a little above average. Not too much, but it's like okay, these are competent wrestlers.
I'd be genuinely shocked if either of them tried that much. Anyways, what the hell is this?
4th match, Kushida and El Desperado, not his tag partner Kevin Knight. I guess that contract's not doing anything. Versus AEW's own
Alex was a sham.
Versus, I think he went to AEW and never went back to New Japan, despite having a dual contract allegedly.
Or he did Best of Super Juniors right when he signed it, and that was it.
Yeah,
and then Tony Khan famously said, "I really wish I didn't let him go." Kushida and all the New Japan fans were like, "What about the dual contract?"
Kushida and El Desperado versus Alec Price and Jordan Oliver.
I didn't know Kushida still worked here.
He does on the U.S. shows. This is a real GCW special if I've ever seen one.
El Desperado famously loves Jordan Oliver, so that's why this is happening.
Yeah.
And Jordan Oliver loves Ryan Knight's content, so that's okay with us.
And for that, I'm saying Jordan Oliver pins Despy's ass in the middle of the ring. 1, 2, 3, baby.
You know what I expect? I expect this to give these two the Best of the Super Juniors invite.
Hey, that genuinely, I would be down with that. Jordan Oliver,
or at least one of them.
Yeah,
at least one of them.
Put them in the Best of Super Juniors. I think that's genuinely actually a good idea. I don't think AEW have any plans for these guys at the moment. So bring him.
No shit, really?
So bring him over to. Bringing them over to Best of Super Juniors to get more seasoning is genuinely a great idea. If they're willing to do it, I imagine they would both be willing to do it.
I just remembered the Best of Super Juniors won't have Hiromu in it this year. Oh my god, it's gonna be terrible. Holy shit. Oh God. Okay.
Fifth match: New Japan World TV Title match. El Phantasmo versus Takeshita. Seventh
defense. All right,
you cannot. You cannot. Yep. This is malpractice.
If you can get 2 of them.
Okay. Hold on. Let's think here.
Not counting the Wrestle Kingdom one.
That's not fair. That's not fair.
Yeah, I'll count the Wrestle Kingdom one.
It's a DDT guy.
This is crazy.
DDT guy. It was on the pre-show.
Yeah. I don't think I saw any of these defenses.
Can we just, I know we're not like, you're not a big El Phantasmo fan. Can we just turn him heel again when he was like actually popular and good?
Yeah, him being a babyface was hysterical. Can I just tell you them so we can move
Chris Brooks.
Yeah, there you go. If you can name one more.
I'm gonna say Bolton Oleg.
Incorrect.
Shoma Yu Uemura. No. Rohei Iwa. Final offer.
No. Okay, so on December 20.
Jake Lee. LPL versus Jake Lee.
That'd be awful.
Yeah, at least we get a 15-minute time limit.
December 22nd. Ryusuke Taguchi.
What? When did that match happen?
Wait a minute. December 14th. Hartley Jackson. Why the fuck didn't Hartley Jackson win?
This title is nothing. It's like below the Never title.
And then he hadn't defended it since October 13th, going to a 15-minute time limit draw in the final Ryogoku Sumo Hall match of Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Oh yeah.
Dear God.
Forgot about
and then he successfully defended it in June against Taiji Shimori. And his first defense happened at Wrestling Dome Taku in May against, in a 15-minute time limit draw, you guessed it, Konosuke Takeshita.
So what are we thinking? You pitched earlier, Takeshita's winning?
That draw just told me what happens. Takeshita wins.
Takeshita has to win. This title obviously is seemingly meaningless. El Phantasmo is a super dud at this point.
Oh my God. You know what? There's a better game we could have played. Can you name all the champions?
Zack Sabre Jr.
Yep. 1.
Phantasmo.
2. Twice. So that's
Ishii?
That's 3 of 9 champions. No Ishii.
Who? It was somebody old that beat Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah.
I remember people being upset about it.
Hiroshi Tanahashi beat him.
Oh yeah, it was Hiroshi.
Oh, Zack had it twice too. So you're 1, 2, 3, 4.
So Tanahashi, Phantasmo, and ZS.
5 of the 9.
Riddle.
6 of the 9.
How can I forget?
If you can get 2 of these, I'll be stunned. You're about to learn why this title's dead, buddy.
Ren Narita.
Yes.
Because I believe Tanahashi.
You're not
Riddle.
getting the other. You're not getting these other.
Tanahashi beat Riddle, right?
He did not. Riddle beat Tanahashi.
Oh, then who beat Riddle?
Zack Sabre Jr.
Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Interesting. Certainly a word for it.
And then there was 2 other people you said?
Yep. One works for WWE. And the other I wish worked for anyone else.
I don't think it was Tama Tonga.
No.
Oh, Jeff Cobb.
Yep, there you go. You were close. It's an MFT, baby.
I was thinking about saying, oh, it's one of the MFTs for sure.
Wrong MFT. It's the MFT that everyone thinks is bad.
And then the other person,
the other one's fucking Great O'Khan. We're not doing this.
Oh yeah, Great O'Khan.
He held it for a whopping 24 days. And
that's the goat right there. Remember when people said that Great O'Khan was going to be something one day?
Yeah, I sure do. Anyway,
6 match. Takeshita wins, please. IWGP Tag Team Championship, Yuta Ice and Oscar doing their 4th title defense versus Toa Leona and Bishop Khan.
Whoa, Toa Leona and Bishop Khan look different.
I am so tired of seeing the gates of agony everywhere. I've seen him in Mexico. I've seen him in America. I've seen it everywhere. I know this is technically still America, but
now you're going to see them in Japan in the middle of New Jersey.
As we all expected. Yeah, I mean, Oscar and Ice winning this. I mean, who are we even doing here?
Gotta get high tonight, baby.
IWGP Women's Championship. Genuinely exciting matchup here. Shuri versus Athena.
This is indeed her second defense. That is correct. Congratulations. Yeah. They have got it right.
Mm-hmm. Shuri winning.
Because she fucking better. She beat Saya Kamitani. What would be the point of beating Saya Kamitani at the Tokyo Dome if we're going to lose to the person who can't leave Ring of Honor?
Yeah.
Shuri better win. Should be a great match, though. Very excited for it.
There is a chance Athena wins and then shows up to the Ring of Honor tapings on Sunday with the IWGP Women's Championship.
That's true. If the strong women's title's on the line, I think Athena would win.
Sure.
But it's not.
I mean, it would be exciting if Athena won.
I think for who? Not for me. I don't want to see that at all.
You want to see her bring that spinner belt over to Japan?
I don't want no. Until Athena's serious. No. She hasn't been serious in 2 years.
What if this is how? Okay, hear me out.
Nope.
Hear me out. What if this is how we get Athena versus Suri?
I don't want Shuri losing in her second defense.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Forbidden Door. Forbidden Door. IWGP Women's Championship.
I'm already off. I'm already off.
Suri.
No, I'm already off. I don't want Suri having to go to Britain. No, absolutely not.
Where is Forbidden Door this year?
Wembley. Oh, sorry. Where's Forbidden Door?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not Wembley. All in.
That was last. It was in
London.
Britain last year. My apologies. Probably not even announced yet. They announced Revolution they announced Double or Nothing like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hear me out. Just don't even run it.
Suri, Athena. Can you hear that, folks? He doesn't want to see Athena. Now, speaking of main event champions, IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship, Yota Tsuji defending against Andrade El Idolo, baby.
That's a real main. Yeah, Andrade should win.
Andrade should fully win. I fully believe he should win. This guy's collecting belts. He doesn't get the AEW World Championship, but he wins the Global.
What? Is this his third? Oh, he's had the Global longer, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Andrade wins. Duh.
Yeah. I think it's a good way to separate things if they want to separate him. Why not?
And it begins Andrade's road to world domination.
I mean, I would argue it already began when he won a title in Belgium.
Yeah, that no. We need him to win it. No, I didn't even know that happened.
Ultimo Andrade, Ultimo Idolo.
Oh. Real Latina man, Idolo, Ultimo.
Real Ultimo man.
The real Latino Ultimo Guerrero.
It's Andrade, but instead of holding on the belts, it's just a bunch of women holding on the belts for him, which I guess is the reverse of the Mercedes Moné thing.
That would be correct. Remember Mercedes Moné? She literally comes back like tomorrow, and I think no one's talking about it. Anyways, the show's not that bad.
No, I actually think it's a solid card for what it is. You know, for like a USA New Japan show.
For sure.
I think it's a pretty solid card. I mean, the semi-main get me going for sure. You can maybe make an argument for the tag title match because it's Ice and Oscar, but sure. And, you get some stuff in here. I think Despy is going to work for that tag title because he likes Jordan Oliver a lot. You know what I mean? Like I think there's people that are going to work and do good. There's also going to be some matches where people are going to be phoning it in. Ishimori.
Ishimori and Ricochet. Neither of those two are trying.
But I think it's a solid show. I think it's ultimately going to be a solid show.
Yeah,
with potentially a great main event or semi-main event.
Yeah, I'm pretty set on those two matches being great, and that's enough for me.
Yeah, agreed.
Oh, Idolo.
Perfect. Nailed it.
Nailed it. All right, bye everyone.
No. Hold on. What else do we have to talk about? What was on the docket? Fantastica Mania. I can talk about Fantastica Mania for one day. It was a fine show. Okay. It was not that good of a show.
Well, it wasn't
my highest rated match. My highest rated match was 3.5. My lowest rated was 2. You started off the show
pretty good.
It's not bad. Futuro and Valiente Jr.
Buddy, hold on. No. 3.5 is a very solid match that you could ask for on any show.
I agree. I am not disagreeing here, Scotty. Put the pitchforks down.
Who would have the 3.5?
I'll get to that. So to start off the show, Futuro and Valiente Jr. defeat El Hijo del Stuka Jr. and Shota Makato. This match was real flimsy. There's a lot of waiting for spots. Shun Makato just did not look like he knew what was going on most of the time, which is fair. He'll learn the Lucha Libre style. This was his first time interacting with it, really. So still, not that great a match. An opener.
It has a 4.89 on Cage Match.
Followed up with Hechicero versus Zane J. This one was pretty good. I went 3 flat. Zane J
fan over here.
Zane J, this guy's got something, I think. Good body, good face. I think he sells pretty well.
You say good body?
Yeah. This is a body business, baby. The Triple B.
You don't gotta tell me, baby.
I don't know. Is Andrade body or is it face? Or is it both?
Is Andrade body? Don't make me get the tape.
Are you talking about the tape where he rips his pants off?
Bingo.
Maybe. Zane J in a similar way. His body, his face. I think he's pretty good at selling, actually. He was doing, I think.
I didn't see this comment. This is your fault.
From Material Pure. Yes, my favorite TNA podcast has started. He was selling Hechicero's offense pretty well, and I pretty much enjoyed that. I was like, oh, yeah, this is a solid match. Averno and Magnus defeat Stigma and Tiger Mask. Nothing to really see here. This was the lowest rated match I had, 2 flat. Then you had Atlantis and Atlantis Jr. defeating Cozy Max, Satoshi Kojima, and Okamura. This match lasted 6 minutes and 40 seconds. I looked at it. I looked away for half a second, and I came back, and the match was over. So
Mima Shimoda was there.
You blink and you miss it. Blink and you miss it.
Mima Shimoda, by the way, fantastic pro wrestler.
You had Teton
9.4 on Cage Match. Just letting you know.
Teton, Daiki Nagai, Taiji Shimori as Bone Soldier.
No selling the woman. Continue.
And Yoda Tsuji as Philip Marlowe Jr., who was wearing a mask. That was fun.
Of
Defeat the team of El Desperado, Masatori Yasuda, Master Wato, and Rusuke Taguchi, who, again, Taguchi was out there in a mask as well. His little stupid Sphinx mask. You know what I'm talking about?
Clearly, we should have showed up to the show in masks.
This match was like kind of fun. It was a. I'll put it this way, Scotty. It was a Ricochet Ishimori special. Does that make sense?
Oh boy.
There's stuff there, but it's like not enough to get me over the edge. Soberano Jr. versus Templario, 10-minute time limit draw. This was the best match of the show. Can you believe it, folks? 3.5.
Stunned.
Wanted to go longer, obviously, but 10 minutes is what you got. So they tried to fight after the bell, but obviously that did not happen. And then Mystico and Masquerade defeat Show and Ultimo Guerrero in the main event. A lot of not House of Torture shenanigans, but just a lot of like leaving the ring and like doing stuff. Gave the opportunity for Mystico to do his business, but it was just like I want to see a little bit more action for what we got.
Mickey Matoy has the best gimmick in professional wrestling. She's the commentator for these shows, right? All she calls is Fantastica Mania and Marigold. That's all she calls. That's fucking hilarious. And Wrestle Dynasty. She used to do way more New Japan back in the day.
Yeah.
They seemingly got rid of her.
Well,
but now she just shows up for Fantastica Mania, and that's funny and respectable.
Hey, Fantastica Mania, always fun. We'll watch more of that. There's more aired, I guess, than we thought. So I guess I'll watch.
Yeah, I didn't realize it.
More of that moving forward. So apologies for the lack of reviews there. All right, great. Is there actually any more to talk about? I feel like we had more on the docket that we didn't get to. And why am I blanking?
Well, we weren't doing Elimination Chamber. I don't care about Noah.
Noah has their Junior Tag League finals.
When is that?
That's going to be this Sunday, the 1st.
Oh, I know you're pumped.
Yeah, you gotta get into it, folks. Gotta get
Who's
into
in
it. Can I? I am pulling it up right now. Give me 1 second. I haven't watched any of the Junior Tag League. This also has a world title match.
Junior Tag League.
I thought I had a world title match in here. Does it not? No, it did not. Genuinely thought it did. All right. Well, it doesn't really matter. The only thing of note is the Junior Tag League Finals, which is also is going to be Kai Fujimura and Alpha Wolf versus Dragonbane and Alejandro. So I don't know. Maybe that's something. Maybe that's nothing. Probably nothing.
Let's see this card. Oh,
the card's pretty bad.
No.
The semi-main event's a 6-man tag. Yoshiki Nomura.
Who are these white people?
True and Lacey from Rev Pro versus Kano, Naomichi Marufuji, and Shuhei Taniguchi.
Real question.
Naito in a tag match.
Think?
You got Naito in a tag match. You got a 3-way. Kaito Kiyomiya, Galeno Damal, and this other guy.
Dude, what happened to Noah?
I know. It's just very, very boring.
Bad.
Very boring.
Bad.
I mean,
it's because Mr. Smack Daddy's their champion.
Remember when we liked him? Remember the good old days when he was fun?
Yoichi was the shit, man, okay? Yoichi had one match in Noah, and they got rid of it.
I can't believe it.
I learned he's in the WWE 2K video game. So
he is. So is Psycho Clown, I saw. You can rip his mask off.
Okay, well, they own that company.
Yeah.
They don't own Yoshiki Nomura. Yet.
Not yet. Oh, it gets to that extent. Ulka Sasaki is moving over to NXT. Are you excited to see Ulka Sasaki versus Josh Briggs?
Why would they? Why are they sending Ulka Sasaki to NXT?
To get some seasoning. Get some of that classic seasoning.
He's like 36 years old.
Well, he's got some training to do, obviously.
He's
just like
David
Finlay,
national champion.
Just like David Finlay going over to NXT sounds like the perfect time at that age, the ripe age of 36.
You know, here's the problem, okay? We're going to go into this. And when I say we're going to go into this, I mean, it may last 5 seconds. All Japan and Noah need to, like, kiss and make up and, like, combine. Because... boy, oh boy, I saw the Champion Carnival lineup. That is the most stinkiest shit I've ever seen. Have you seen it?
I have not. Can you? I was just about to ask you,
baby. Here we go. No, don't you touch a thing. I am going to tell you. And you are going to listen and you're going to like it.
I'm going to listen and I'm going to learn?
You're probably not going to like it.
I saw that there was a Triple Crown title match. And according to Cage Match, 5.57 out of 10.
Who was it against?
Kento Miyahara and Jun Saito.
Well, that's because it was Jun Saito. He's defending against Kuma Arashi next. That's fascinating. He was in the Champion Carnival a few years ago. All right, here we go. You ready to hear this Champion Carnival lineup? I know you're excited.
Hit me.
All right, ready? Rei Saito, Kento Miyahara, Go Shiozaki, Hideki Suzuki, Jun Saito, Ryuki Honda, Renayabe, Yuma Anzai, Kengo Moshimo.
Is this all one block?
No, they're not separating the blocks for some goddamn reason. I don't know why. Why would you do this? Oh, they haven't been decided yet. That's why.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Daisuke Sekimoto. Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, but he's obviously a super shell of his former self.
Kumar, okay, listen, buddy. We're about to get to something that you'd rather watch a shell of Daisuke Sekimoto, okay? Kumarashi.
Yeah.
Madoka Kikuta. Zion. Odyssey.
Of course.
Cyrus.
Yeah, gotta get Cyrus in there.
And Talos.
Gotta get.
And you may be sitting here thinking to yourself, who's missing? A very healthy former winner, Shotaro Ashino, was just completely skipped over.
Does he like? Did he like sleep with someone's wife or something? Like, did he do something to somebody? Like, and he's being punished every year for this.
Also notably,
he's also a champion.
Aoyagi, by the way, also not in it.
Yeah.
Because he got like suspended or something.
Yeah.
For being an idiot.
Well, that's what happens.
Wasn't that idiots. What he did?
I think so. I don't remember specifically.
He did something not good. But yeah, that is a bad company.
That is a bad company.
that anytime I think to myself, wow, Noah's pretty bad, I'm just like, what's All Japan up to?
No, man, Noah's pretty bad. Let's check in with All Japan and see how they're doing. Remind
All Japan booking. Oh, is that say Madoka Kakuta, who, by the way, is still the Dragon Gate champion? I just learned. Oh no. Shout out to Puro. Anyways, how let's wrap the show up.
I think we're wrapping the show up. I mean, do we have any other the other things listed on our run sheet was Adam Page and his challenge, which
he's gonna Cody himself. It's very funny.
We're gonna see how we'll see how that plays out, and then look at Revolution when we preview that show. We also talk about AJ Styles retiring and then getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. We can all talk about that.
What a dog though. He instantly goes on Rock Recap. It's like, yeah, WrestleMania kind of sucks now.
I know. He's surprised. He's like, oh yeah, I'm retiring. I'm leaving WWE, putting all my stuff in the ring, and then Undertaker surprises him by saying, "You're going to the Hall of Fame," and he comes out and says, "Oh yeah, WrestleMania kind of sucks nowadays."
I was like, wow, that's telling. And then it was really funny because like people were getting really emotional. Like, oh, he's going to the Hall of Fame, and he's just like, all right.
You got me good, Taker. You got me good, Mark.
Whatever. All right, let's wrap up the show.
Do you think the Hall of Fame has any sort of indication on his like post WWE contract?
I don't know. Sting went into the WWE Hall of Fame and then went to AEW.
That's true.
Among many others, Edge is in the Hall of Fame and is in AEW.
Are we? Well, my point is, is he? I presume his contract runs out in April or something like that. Like, when does his contract run out?
I don't think he's going to AEW.
Do you think he's signing a Legends deal and just calling it a day?
Maybe. I think he might just like take a break, take care of his kids a little. Maybe if he gets the itch, come back in like next year or something. But
yeah,
I don't know. He seemed pretty settled for now.
Yeah, I'm. This announcement feels more and more that's like, yes, he's done. He
seems like he actually wants to be a dad. That seems like what he wants to go do. Sorry, Will Ospreay.
A shame. A real shame, quite honestly. Well, I would like to see him in AEW.
Worry about getting his neck together first. Which sounds like it's soon, right?
Sounds like it's soon. We're getting video packages.
I saw that he said AEW is not where the best wrestle, it's where the Billy Goat wrestles. I was like, that might be the worst line I've ever heard. What does that even mean? What? Is
it saying he's the best? I guess.
I guess so, but like, why would you tell everyone they suck?
All right, yeah. So let's wrap up the show here, Scotty. Thank you, everybody, for listening to this week's episode of Ring Post Radio. Scotty, you won't be here next week. You're completely out of town all week.
Sure won't be.
So we can't even move to the old classic
Saturday. Yep. So Ryan's gonna do a show. I don't know what kind of show, but he's gonna do a show.
I don't know either.
There will be a lot to cover, obviously. I don't know if that's actually true, but we just previewed stuff.
There's the Noah finals of a show that I thought had a world title match, and it doesn't.
Fantastica Mania.
The Chamber.
The Chamber. New Beginning USA.
Yeah.
Plenty to talk about.
Do we have a ballad episode I can release? Maybe Time Nakano? Maybe that ballad episode, the first one. Maybe that's an idea.
I kind of like the idea of a week off. Okay.
A week off sounds pretty juicy in my opinion. But yeah, we'll figure that out. I'll figure that out and see what I want to do. Maybe
Grind Runner? Question mark?
You said Blade Runner?
I said Grind Runner.
Yeah, right. I know what. I'm just gonna watch Blade Runner. I'm just gonna do that instead.
Tatsumi Fujinami is in a Dragon Gate tag team title match. I'm gonna need you to review that
with his son.
Tatsumi Fujinami.
Yeah,
the old guy. He has a son in wrestling.
I think so. I think he's in. What's his name? Tatsumi Fujinami son. I forget his son's name. Leona.
Oh, that's his son. Oh no, his son's terrible.
Yeah, his son is not good.
He is teaming with Strong Machine J.
All right. I like that.
Way better than his son.
All right. Yikes. Well,
speaking, he doesn't like his son wrestling because his name's Leona.
Yeah,
and not Fujinami.
Yeah, I agree. Scotty, that's it for this week's episode. Give us some plugs in your movies and match of the week.
I don't have a match of the week, so I'll give you more movies because I don't think I watched anything. All right, I always have to give a match of the week. Mayu had a match with Rin Katakor. There you go. That's my match of the week. Plugs, youtube.com/@ScottEWrestling. While I will be out of town, I will be uploading a lot of videos in the coming week. So if that interests you, subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/@ScottEWrestling. Next, what's today? The 24th?
Yep.
Next week, a week from today, I will have a video coming out that I'm recording tomorrow. 5-year anniversary of All-Star Dream Cinderella, Julia versus Tam Nakano, hair versus hair match, which directly connects to, you should check out the ballot episode regarding Tam Nakano. After you listen to that, maybe you watch the All-Star Dream Cinderella review, be like, oh, so this is her first big time main event. Then there you go, all the big connections, boom, 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 boom.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, you're welcome. That was kind of the big one. I have other stuff probably coming out. I don't really know. I just have to plan ahead of time, and it depends how much time I have. What else? Oh, movies. Duh. We have so much. We have 9 minutes of activity here. All right. Let's see what we watched this week, huh? Oh, yeah. I watched a few movies with friends this week.
Ooh.
Sorry for having friends.
How dare you?
I watched Rushmore for the first time.
Okay, yeah.
Wes Anderson's first movie. My review started with Wes Anderson's a weird guy, huh?
And did he ever fuck that teacher?
He did not.
Nah, it's a shame. In college, one of our assignments in film class was to remake one of the scenes from that movie.
Excuse me?
I think it's okay. I think when he's in like the like library or something, and he maybe drops a pencil or something. Or something about a pencil.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I think it's on YouTube somewhere of me directing that.
It was a pretty fun movie. It was fun.
Yeah, solid opener.
Yep. I watched Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Man's Chest with friends as well, because my friend had never seen it, despite knowing everything that happened in the movie. And I said, how do you know that everything that happened in these two movies? And this fucker goes, Kingdom Hearts 3, of course. And I go, fuck you, man. I was like,
that popped me hard, baby. I'm a big Kingdom Hearts guy over here.
I was like,
and by the way, Kingdom Hearts 3 sucks balls.
No, he doesn't like it either. He doesn't like balls. He doesn't like it much either. But it was really funny because I was like, what do you mean you've never seen these movies? He's like, well, I've seen the first one a million times, but I don't think I've ever seen the second or third. And I was like, what? And then he was like asking me questions. I was like, how do you know this? He's like, Kingdom Hearts. And I go, fuck you.
When he was watching the movie, did I ever think to myself, where's Goofy? Gorsh.
Yeah. But that was a fun rewatch. I liked it better than Rushmore. So I've seen it before.
It's a pretty great movie. It's a pretty great
I really like the Pirates of the Caribbean trio. We don't talk about the other two. Thank you.
Yeah,
that's it. I'll be watching movies plenty over the next week though. So when I come back, oh boy,
you'll be ready to play
back on the show. Yeah, I'll be playing the Miz theme song. I came to play. Yeah, that one. But that's it for me. Goodbye.
My match of the week is going to be from AEW Dynamite, and that was I didn't finish the entire episode yet, so far I'm going to say the opener, Jon Moxley versus Mark Davis, but I highly suspect that I will love the main event of Kenny Omega versus Swerve Strickland. I don't really have any plugs other than, thank you for listening to the podcast. Check out the ballot, the La Petite Prince episode. We talked about a little bit of Jordan Oliver was praising that episode. Go check that out on the ballot. Go check the Tam Nakano episode of Scotty. I am hoping to get 2 recorded and released in March. I have one fully, I think at this point, fully realized of what it's going to be and what the guest is already picked out. It's just a matter of scheduling and recording. And then the other one, still looking for the guest, but I have people in mind, so I'm not too afraid of that turning out into something. So we'll see what happens there. Movies. I watched 3 movies, one of which was like an hour long. It was like the first film made by Peter Weir, not his like first theatrical production, but his first film called Holmesdale. You can watch it on YouTube. It's 52 minutes long. Good, solid movie. Solid stuff here. I'm kind of enjoying diving into Peter Weir of it all because, like I said, I've stated before, I'm a Blank Check fan, and they're talking about Peter Weir next. To that extent, I watched Die My Love, which is a movie that came out last year, directed by Lynn Ramsey, starring J. Law, Jennifer Lawrence, and Robert Pattinson. Good movie as well. Also not good in some parts. I was really between a good and a meh, and I settled on a good because I think the performances of J. Law are just pretty solid. And yeah, and also pretty solid movie, but not the best movie I saw in the past week, Scotty. And that, of course, I'm sure people have told you about it. I highly recommend it. Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. An amazing movie. One of the funniest movies I've ever seen in the past. Funniest movies not I've ever seen, but one of the funniest movies I've seen in the past several years for sure. An insane movie.
That back quickly.
It's an insane movie that I do not understand how they made this movie on a producing level. It's so fucking funny, Scotty. It's so insane what they do in this movie, just plot wise. Go see it in theaters. I cannot recommend it enough.
Don't have it in any theaters near me, but thank you.
That sucks to hear. Go download it illegally. Go out of your way to find this movie somewhere and go check it out. It's a great film. Maybe it's
a movie.
What's that?
What? Why did it say it came out in 2025?
It was in South by, I think, is when it debuted. And some places they just go by the festival debut date.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
Genuinely great movie. I mean, I've only seen 3, I think, movies this year, and it's the best movie of the year I've seen so far.
Beat Mercy. What a shame.
Beat Mercy. Mercy came close second. Movie's great. Highly recommend. I know it's a limited release, and I hope that it expands. Is my hope, and so that you can see it in theaters.
Thanks, man.
I was laughing nonstop the entire time.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
Movie. Insane. You watching, you're like, how the fuck did they get away with this? it's that movie magic where there's so many moments of movie magic that you're just like, how the fuck did they pull this off? And it's a great. It's one of those movies that afterwards, Scotty. Much like the last scene from the Apple TV show The Studio, Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie is one of those movies, Scotty, where afterwards I just think to myself, movies. That's cinema, baby. That's it for this week's episode of Ring Post Radio. Thank you, everybody, for listening to this week's episode. We'll be back maybe next week, maybe the week after. I don't know yet. I'll figure it out. I found out Scotty won't be here next week earlier today. So I'll figure it out. Otherwise, if we're not here, you can catch us back in 2 weeks, talking about everything in the world of professional wrestling within 2 hours, ideally. Follow us on social media if you dare. Subscribe to the podcast wherever you get podcasts. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Listen to all of our fast stuff. And until next time, we'll catch you all on the flip-flop. Enjoy your Taco Bell.